Right now, every major military power on Earth is desperately trying to get their hands on the secrets of one specific lizard from Madagascar. And what they're discovering could change the face of warfare. What if I told you that this single reptile holds the key to making soldiers invisible, tanks disappear, and aircraft vanish from the sky? What if I told you that there are military prototypes that can already make a 60-ton tank look like a harmless car through thermal imaging, and fabrics being tested that change color faster than you can blink? Welcome to Arnie's Brain Train. I'm Alex Arnold, and today we're exploring military secrets that sound like science fiction, but they're totally real. Now, before we dive into these discoveries, I need to address something. Some of you are going to see computer-generated images in this video and immediately start typing angry comments about fake art ruining everything. Others will hear facts that don't align with your personal beliefs and get huffy. To both groups, I say this: take a deep breath, maybe grab a juice box, and remember that we're here to learn about invisible tanks, not debate the ethics of digital art. If that's too much for you, there are plenty of other reaction videos with real people arguing about stuff like pizza toppings or something. Now, the reason that every military wants these specific chameleons from Madagascar isn't just because they change color. It's because they've solved a problem that human engineers are only now beginning to crack. And it started because someone looked at Madagascar's chameleons and refused to accept that nature's tricks were beyond human understanding. Now, before we disappear into this topic like a chameleon in a Madagascar rainforest, all of my sources are listed in the description or in the pinned comment below, so you can verify all the claims that I'm about to make. Now, let's get this brain train moving. Here we go. Here's what most people get wrong about chameleons. They don't change color to blend into their backgrounds like some kind of living paintbrush. The truth is more complex, and it's exactly what makes Madagascar's chameleons so valuable to military researchers. Chameleons primarily change color for three reasons: communication, temperature regulation, and emotional states. When a chameleon gets excited, angry, or wants to attract a mate, specialized cells called chromatophores and iridophores work together to create their color display. Imagine a male chameleon trying to impress a female in Madagascar's rainforest. He wouldn't just flex his muscles, he would literally transform his entire body into a living light show. His skin erupts in brilliant blues, oranges, and reds that shift and pulse. It's not camouflage at all, it's biological advertising. And here's where Hollywood really gets it wrong. Madagascar's chameleons can't actually match any background perfectly. For example, a chameleon can't just turn checkered if you put it on a chessboard, and it definitely can't become transparent. What they do is far more sophisticated than simple color copying, and that's exactly what every military wanted to understand. Madagascar's chameleons have two types of color-changing mechanisms working simultaneously. The first uses pigment-filled cells that can concentrate or spread out like tiny balloons filled with paint. When these cells contract, the color becomes more intense. When they expand, it becomes lighter and more diffuse. The second mechanism uses nanocrystal structures that reflect specific wavelengths of light. These microscopic crystals can actually change their spacing to reflect different colors, creating what scientists call structural color. It's the same principle that makes butterfly wings shimmer or oil on water create rainbow patterns, except Madagascar's chameleons can control it consciously. Just think about that for a second. These animals have evolved living optical devices that can manipulate light at the nanoscale. They're basically walking, breathing photonic computers that have been perfecting light manipulation technology for millions of years, while humans were still figuring out fire. And they're doing it without batteries, without computers, without any external power source whatsoever. When researchers first discovered this mechanism in 2015, using high-powered microscopy, it changed everything that we thought we knew about animal camouflage. Military scientists worldwide realized that they weren't just looking at a color-changing animal from Madagascar, they were looking at a biological demonstration of advanced optical engineering that humanity was only just beginning to understand. All of this science and all of these discoveries caught every military's attention and started a global arms race to unlock Madagascar's chameleon secrets. The moment military researchers realized chameleons weren't just changing color, but actually manipulating light itself, the race was on. According to research published in multiple defense journals, countries around the world launched massive biomimicry programs to crack the chameleon code. They're throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at this problem because whoever solves it first gains a significant military advantage. Let's start with the French military's Chameleon project. French defense contractor Nexter, working with the country's Directorate General for Armaments, has developed what they call active camouflage tiles. These aren't painted camouflage patterns that stay the same no matter where you are. These are actual electronic surfaces that use cameras to capture the environment and algorithms to analyze colors and textures. The system then tells each individual tile what color and pattern to display. The result? These tiles can make a tank look like anything from desert sand to forest undergrowth, and it adapts instantly as the vehicle moves through different terrains. But the United States isn't just sitting still while the French perfect disappearing tanks. Research teams at institutions like Sandia National Laboratories have been working on something even more ambitious, what they call motor protein camouflage systems. They're literally trying to recreate the biological motors that move chameleon pigment cells, but using synthetic materials instead of living tissue. Think of it like building artificial muscles that can move color pigments around in fabric. The goal? Create fabric that can change color without any external power source, just like a chameleon skin. Imagine a soldier's uniform that runs on body heat and can adapt to any environment without batteries, computers, or external technology. Researchers at Seoul National University have gone beyond theory and created a working chameleon robot. This isn't a concept or a computer simulation. It's a physical working device that you can watch operate in real time. Their artificial chameleon uses thermochromic liquid cells, materials that change color when heated, combined with silver nanowires that can heat up specific areas of the robot's surface. As this mechanical chameleon moves across different colored surfaces, sensors detect the background colors and send signals to the nanowires. The nanowires heat up specific sections of the thermochromic crystals, causing them to change color to match the surface underneath. The device actually works, adapting its appearance in real time as it crawls around like a living chameleon. The military applications go far beyond what most people imagine when they think about camouflage. Imagine soldiers whose uniforms automatically adapt to any environment, from jungle to desert to urban environments, without the soldier having to do anything except move through the landscape. Picture tanks that become invisible by perfectly matching their surroundings, not just in visible light, but also in infrared, making them undetectable to both human eyes and thermal imaging systems. Think about an aircraft that could blend into the sky so completely that visual detection becomes virtually impossible, forcing enemies to rely entirely on radar systems. Some of these technologies are being developed to fool radar too, creating vehicles that could become essentially invisible to most detection methods. Besides these military applications, why should you care? Because this technology isn't staying locked away in military bases. The same innovations being developed for battlefield invisibility are already trickling into civilian applications, from automotive paint that changes color to architectural materials that adapt to weather conditions. Understanding this technology now means that you'll recognize when it starts appearing in consumer products. Now, this isn't just an American or European obsession. According to research published in Frontiers in Materials Science, countries across the globe are pouring resources into chameleon-inspired military technology. We're talking about a global arms race where the prize isn't just better weapons, it's the power of invisibility itself. China has been particularly aggressive in this field, studying this technology for over a decade, with the kind of systematic approach that should make other countries a little nervous. Their military researchers have been working on what they call bionic adaptive camouflage materials, and they've published papers on photonic crystal structures that can manipulate both visible light and infrared signatures simultaneously. Let me explain what that means. Most current camouflage only works in visible light, the light that your eyes can see. But modern military detection systems use thermal imaging, which detects heat signatures. China's research suggests that their technology could potentially hide vehicles from both human eyes and thermal imaging systems at the same time. That means that a tank could be both invisible to a soldier looking through binoculars and a heat-seeking missile trying to lock onto its target. The United States Military Academy at West Point has responded by establishing an entire photonic crystal research center dedicated to developing what they literally call invisibility cloaks for military applications. Their research focuses on metamaterials, substances engineered to have properties that don't exist anywhere in nature, that could bend light around objects, making them effectively invisible. Think about that concept. Materials that can bend light around an object, like water flowing around a rock. The light hits the metamaterial, gets guided around the hidden object, and continues on the other side as if nothing was there. It's like creating a hole in reality where light is concerned. Some of this research is moving beyond simple color changing into what scientists call active camouflage. BAE Systems, a major defense contractor, has developed something called adaptive technology that uses about 1,000 hexagonal panels that can be rapidly heated and cooled. These panels don't just change color, they change the thermal signature. They can make a tank appear to be a truck, a car, or even a large rock when viewed through thermal imaging. The system can access a library of different thermal signatures and project whatever heat pattern the operator chooses. Enemy forces think they're tracking a supply truck through thermal imaging, but they're actually targeting a fully armed battle tank. Israeli company Eltix has created similar systems for infrared camouflage that can fool heat-seeking missiles and thermal detection systems. Their technology is advancing rapidly enough that defense analysts are calling it a potential game changer for modern warfare. When experts use that term, they mean technology that could fundamentally alter the balance of military power worldwide. It's kind of wild that all of this incredible technology, all of these multi-billion-dollar research programs, and all of this potential to reshape the nature of warfare itself, all of this started because someone looked at a chameleon sitting on a tree branch and asked, how does that thing do what it does? Some countries aren't just copying chameleon technology, they're trying to improve on it. Russian researchers have been working on what they call metamaterial camouflage that could theoretically make objects invisible across multiple spectrums of light simultaneously, including some wavelengths that chameleons can't even manipulate. Now let's talk about how the principles being developed for military chameleon camouflage are already appearing in civilian technology, and it's happening faster than most people realize. Smart fabrics that change color based on temperature are hitting fashion markets. Major automotive companies like BMW and Mercedes are experimenting with paint systems that could change your car's color on demand. Imagine pressing a button and watching your red car transform into blue, silver, or any color that you want. Architecture firms are designing buildings with exterior surfaces that adapt to weather conditions and seasonal changes. Picture skyscrapers that become lighter colors in summer to reflect heat and darker colors in winter to absorb warmth, automatically reducing energy costs. Some experimental buildings can already change their appearance throughout the day, creating living architecture that responds to its environment. All of these implications go far beyond just color-changing applications. Research published in Advanced Materials suggests that chameleon-inspired technology could revolutionize everything from medical devices to consumer electronics. Consider these possibilities. Smartphones with cases that change appearance based on your mood, detected through biometric sensors. Medical implants that become visible or invisible to different types of medical imaging as needed, allowing doctors to see exactly what they need without interference from other devices. Contact lenses that could change color to match your outfit, or even display information directly on your eyeball. Researchers are working on chameleon-inspired materials for architecture that could make buildings partially transparent during the day and completely opaque at night, all automatically based on lighting conditions. Imagine living in a house with walls that become windows when you want natural light and solid barriers when you want privacy, without you having to do anything except live your normal life. The medical applications are perhaps the most significant. Scientists are developing surgical tools that can change color to provide better contrast against different types of tissue, making operations safer and more precise. They're working on bandages that change color to indicate healing progress, or warn of infections. There are even experimental cancer treatments that use color-changing nanoparticles to help doctors track how well treatments are working in real time. We're witnessing the birth of a technology that will change how humans interact with light, color, and visibility itself. Understanding how this works now puts you ahead of a curve that most people don't even know exists yet. When these technologies start appearing in consumer products, and they will, you'll understand the science behind them while others are just amazed by the results. Unfortunately, the military applications remain the driving force behind most of this research. Defense spending on biomimetic camouflage technology has increased by over 300% in the past decade, according to multiple defense industry reports. We're talking about billions of dollars being invested in the potential transformation of warfare itself. Some experts believe that we're only 5 to 10 years away from seeing some of these technologies deployed in actual military operations. The science fiction future isn't coming. It's already here, being tested in laboratories and military facilities around the world. As usual, let's go ahead and summarize what we talked about today and see the bigger picture of some of these discoveries. Military scientists started by studying how chameleons manipulate light using nanocrystals and specialized cells, biological technology that took millions of years to evolve. This led to breakthrough technologies like France's active camouflage tiles that can make tanks disappear, America's motor protein systems that could create self-powered adaptive clothing, China's dual-spectrum invisibility research that works in both visible and infrared light, and functional chameleon robots that actually work in real time. And what's the result? We're standing on the edge of practical invisibility technology that started with nothing more than a lizard sitting on a tree branch. This story represents something bigger than military camouflage or even invisibility technology. This is an example of how nature has already solved problems that humanity is only just beginning to understand. Chameleons spent millions of years perfecting light manipulation technology through evolution, and humans are finally catching up by learning to reverse engineer their biological innovations. What we're witnessing is the birth of a completely new relationship between humans and light itself. For all of human history, we've been limited by the colors and visibility properties of the materials that we could create. But chameleon-inspired technology is changing that. We're developing the ability to control how objects appear to the human eye and to detection systems, giving us power over one of the most fundamental aspects of reality, how things look. This isn't just about better camouflage or consumer products. It's about the human ability to become invisible, to manipulate reality at the level of light itself. And it started because military scientists looked at a chameleon and refused to accept that nature's solutions were beyond human understanding. And honestly, there's so much more than we talked about today, and there's so much more than we could ever put in one video. If we can master light manipulation at this level, what other natural phenomena might we be able to recreate and improve upon? What other evolutionary solutions are we overlooking that could revolutionize technology, medicine, or our understanding of the universe itself? And that's it for today, everybody. How the Madagascar chameleon became the most wanted reptile in military research, inspiring the future of warfare, civilian innovation, and humanity's quest to control light itself. From Madagascar's tropical rainforests to the world's most advanced research laboratories, these incredible reptiles are teaching us to literally disappear, and so much more. I'm Alex Arnold. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Arnie's Brain Train, where we turn those burning but why questions into explosive discoveries. If this topic blew your mind like it blew mine, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. All of my sources for today's incredible claims are listed in the description or in the pinned comment below, so you can verify every single wild fact that we covered. Seriously, go check them out. Some of this stuff is so unbelievable that you'll want to see the research papers for yourself. And hey, if you want to see me improve any aspect of my videos, or if there's a mind-blowing topic burning a hole in your curiosity, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and help me grow this brain train into the ultimate learning adventure for curious minds everywhere. Did this video change how you think about Madagascar's wildlife, military technology, or even just looking at animals in nature? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and your thoughts help make these videos even better. And finally, all aboard for our next destination through the most fascinating corners of reality. And remember, the world isn't always this simple, but it's always this interesting. See you guys there, and thanks for keeping your curiosity alive. Bye.